Is the key to happiness, Sam, to find a man? Asked my friend Mike in our group WhatsApp chat. Do you think, in your experience? Good question. Once I'd recovered from the audacity, absurdity, and arrogance of the question, I realised it was indeed a good question. The short answer is no, of course you don't need a man to be happy. Happiness is an inside job. Happiness comes from within, and in order to be happy, we need to learn to love ourselves first. In this video, I share 3 ways we can learn to love ourselves. In reality, though, it's not as simple as that. Many women do believe they'll be happy once they found a man. Boy, are they in for a shock. But for many years, I was one of those women. Have you ever fallen into the trap of thinking external things will make you happy? A new job, a pay rise, losing weight, a new relationship? I know I have, and as I say, for many years I was one of those women. I was absolutely desperate to find a man. And people used to say to me, "Oh, Sam, it will happen when you least expect it. You've got to stop looking for it." And they used to say, "You've got to learn to love yourself first." And to be honest with you, it drove me nuts. But of course, they were right. I did need to learn to love myself first. In 2015, I got happy. Or at least I got happy enough to be able to attract and, more importantly, maintain a happy, healthy relationship. I'd spent many years on personal development, spiritual development, and it kind of all came together. And I met my partner Andy in 2015. The thing is, once I got happy, I found a relationship very quickly. So people often assumed that it was Andy that made me happy. And people used to say, especially Andy's mum, "Oh, Sam, it's so lovely to see how happy Andy makes you." And I was quick to correct them. No, Andy doesn't make me happy. I make myself happy. Andy's a symptom. He's not the cause. So as I say, all of those people who told me I needed to learn to love myself first were right. Once I realised that, my next question was, how do I learn to love myself? Well, as I said earlier, in this video, I'm going to share 3 ways we can learn to love ourselves. Affirmations, self-care, and spending time alone. Number 1, affirmations. My favourite affirmations for self-love are, I love and approve of myself, and love is everywhere and I am loving and lovable from Louise Hay, and I am enough from Marissa Peer. Louise Hay also talks about the power of mirror affirmations, and when I was doing a course with Mind Valley last year, I learned a technique where you look in the mirror, you look straight in your eyes and you say, "I love you, I love you, I love you." I also recently learned a new affirmation after reading a book by Susie Moore, and she recommends that you look in the mirror and say, "You are hot stuff," and give yourself a little pat on the bottom. So I started walking around going, "I am hot stuff, I am hot stuff, I am hot stuff." And one day I said to Andy, "Babe, I am hot stuff." And he looked at me, he said, "You are hot stuff, babe." Anyway, next day I said, "Babe, how does it feel to have a girlfriend that's hot stuff?" And as I said it, I realised I wasn't actually looking my best. It was mid-lockdown, it was dinner time, I was still in my pyjamas, I hadn't brushed my hair or washed my face or even cleaned my teeth. And he looked at me, opened his mouth, shut his mouth, looked at me again, and we both just burst out laughing. So that's my first tip, affirmations. My second tip is self-care. So a great way to show yourself some love is to have a self-care practice. One thing you can do is treat yourself as you would want a boyfriend or girlfriend to treat you, or as you would treat a boyfriend or a girlfriend. So you could take yourself out for dinner, you could take yourself to the cinema, you could cook yourself a lovely, delicious dinner. My personal favourite self-care practice, and I still do this even though I'm in a relationship, and actually self-care is just as important if you're single or if you're in a relationship, and that is to have a lovely hot bath with the steam rising off it. I add some essential oils and some Epsom salts and light some candles. I put on my meditation playlist from Spotify, and I just lie back for about 20 to 30 minutes and just absolutely enjoy the bliss of the moment. So that's my second tip, self-care. My third tip is spending time alone. I truly believe that one of the biggest keys to happiness is spending time alone, learning to be happy in our own skin and in our own company. So I recommend spending some time on a regular basis where you turn off the TV, turn off the phone, turn off the internet, and just spend some real quiet time really connecting with yourself. I've heard it called disconnect to reconnect. It's also a great way to overcome loneliness. For more information on how to do that, I recommend reading my blog post about overcoming loneliness. So, do you need a man to be happy? Remember, happiness is an inside job. Happiness comes from within, and in order to become happy, we need to learn to love ourselves first. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please check out my website, happiness-club.co.uk, and particularly please look at my blogs, which is happiness-club.co.uk/blog, and I have written a blog about this subject and many other subjects. Please follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and please sign up to receive notifications when I write a new blog post. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all for your support. Please tell me, what are your tips for learning to be happy, and what are your tips for self-care, self-love, and for finding a relationship, which I'll talk about more in later videos and blog posts. Love you all. Have a great day.